What is up, you guys? The Fallout What If here, and today I gotta be doing a what if that I did say I was going to do, and it's only going to be one. So here's the thing: if this thing gets over 100, likes, then I'll do a part two. I'll do a part two because this is for a fan, and shout out to Patrick Thornhill for giving me this idea. I think somebody's already done this before. I'm never quite sure, but this is going to be what if Deku was the reincarnation of Guts? And yeah, let's just begin this story. So, Deku is, Deku's born, as per se, and pretty much I don't know too much about the whole Berserk story. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I do know one thing. He's going to die, probably a horrible death. And, let's see. Yeah, pretty much she's now reincarnated to Deku. So, what happens with Deku? Well, Deku is basically doing his own thing. And, how do I say it? One day he gets taken away or stolen, basically by a group of people, just because they just needed a slave, or just a plaything, or whatever. But now here's the thing. Deku doesn't know what to do. He's pretty much scared. This is the first time getting taken away. Pretty much that happens. And now here's the thing that's going to happen. Deku he has blackish hair and it's spiky, kind of like Bakugo's, but like a little more spiky, but yeah. So Deku doesn't know what to do, and basically they torture the kid. They do stuff. They drug him. They do a little bit more stuff. They're just becoming more berserk over the years. So here's the thing: over the next 3 years, Deku has a hellish lifestyle, and Deku has been beaten up to the point that Deku, at times, he works out. He works out, and he basically not beats, but he's actually getting a little stronger over the days, pushing his body to its limits, and then getting tired. And after that, they do whatever they want with him. And here's the thing. Some of them are planning to go kill him just kill him off because, they had their fun with him and all. And pretty much nothing else happens. But this is when Deku hears this, and they say that probably in the next 2 weeks, after, have some, fond memories. Yeah, pretty much Deku is abused. And there is women there's women there too, so it's not just a one thing, it's just basically, it's basically two species. Let's just call it species that, do things with Deku. I'm getting too, uncomfortable with this. But it's not Patrick Thornhill's fault. So, complain to him. There's your shout out. Now, here's the thing. Deku kills all of them. He kills all of them in their sleep. Why? Well, because Deku is much more stronger than he was. But here's the thing. He looks weak. He looks like a weakling that can't do nothing. And they basically know that Deku is too scared to do anything. Or so they thought. Now, Deku has stabbed one of the guys in the freaking throat, so he won't be able to talk. And how do I say it? There's at least a good, 8 more people? So he tries his best and gets away from them. After let's say this, after he killed a chick, somebody woke up and then said that what is he doing? And basically Deku's now running away. He's running away and all that stuff, and the guys are following him. They're basically running towards him and all that stuff, and basically he gets hit by a car because, he's running away. And yeah, it's their car that hits them. But the fact of the matter is Deku is falling and falling and falling and falling and falling down into a freaking forest. It's a forest that basically shows a lot of, has quirked animals, and Deku now has to know how to survive. Now, what's Inko and Hisashi doing? Well, basically, they mourned the death of Izuku, and hope that one day, that when they die, they get to see him in heaven. Well, anyway, so Deku automatically goes around, and he's just basically his own man. You know, he's killed some animals, he's learned how to hunt, how to survive. He's learned how to make something for his arm, because his arm is basically... His arm is basically useless due to the fact that Deku got it broken and it healed, but at the same time, it was more of a... Let's say this. His arm basically... dang it. Oh, yes. His arm basically got paralyzed to the point where he can't even move it. So nothing he could do is... He can't do nothing, to be honest. But here's the thing. He does have a sword. Why? Well, basically, Deku has somebody, an animal attacked him, and the animal had a blades quirk. So basically, Deku just grabbed it and then just tried to pull it off the earth. Once he got it, then he ran to the freaking animal and stabbed it in the freaking head. After that, he ate it, and yeah, he's pretty much survived most of his, like, for the past freaking, 2 to 4 years? Let's see, he's 4 when he got taken away. Then then he's 3. So 4 more years, so basically 7. He's basically 11 in now. But here's the thing. A lot of the people, some campers, have, like, seen a child who's, basically a child who's just been running around and always, like, minding his own business. But the fact of the matter is that freaking, yeah, nobody knows whose kid this is. And people have been wondering who it is. And they call the kid, basically, I'm going to say this, they call him Guts. Alright? Why Guts, of all people? Well, here's the thing. I've seen parts of the anime, like I said, and he's been, well, how do I say it? Deku has been, or not Deku, Guts has been, like, on a pile of guts when he was a baby. Well, here's the thing. Deku has been always, like, near a pile of guts when he's eating animals. So they'll probably nickname the kid Guts. And basically, for story's sake, yeah, that's what they're going to refer to him as. Not Izuku, because nobody knows who he is, just Guts. Now, Deku knows that there's some heroes that are going to try to take him away. Who are these heroes? Who are they? He doesn't know anymore, but he knows a particular person. He's a blonde person. Now, this is going to be All Might, if you guys didn't even know. And basically, Aizawa... Give me a second here. Aizawa, I think I said. Freaking Endeavor is there. Since this is not your ordinary, like, thing. And people have gotten injured. But they just need people, like, who are very high tier in this kind of situation. Now, All Might is there. All of them have been called due to the fact that this kid could be a major threat. At the same time, they just want to be sure. They don't want to take any chances because this kid looks like a devil. To them, they think he's a beast. Like something vile just came out of Earth and then it produced this kid. But at the same time, where Deku is at right now, he's basically just peaceful. Well, it's not peaceful, I can say. It's not peaceful, per se, but he doesn't actually hate humans. He's just scared of having, like, that thing happen to him. Being tortured, being beaten, almost dying. That's something that that leaves a scar for a long time for humans. Now, Aizawa does spot freaking Deku, and he's like, hey, everybody, yeah, he's there. So, I guess Autobots roll out, that kind of thing right there. And freaking everybody just like, everybody is just surrounding Deku. But All Might is right there, just like calmly walking towards him and says, "Well, young man, it seems that you have been causing a bit of a riot, or at least a small ruckus. And we do not know where your parents are, or we do not know if your parents are here, but the fact of the matter is that you are here and we need to speak with you. May we talk to you for a bit?" And Deku's just looking at him like, pretty much he's like looking just at, like, straight at him. And freaking Endeavor's like, oh jeez, All Might, cut the crap. Let's just hurry up and finish the job here. And basically says, "Come here, kid. You're coming with me." And Endeavor just grabs him by the hand, his black hand. That doesn't sound right. I can assure you, it's just the fact of the matter is, his hand is, it's a broken hand, but yet the color is, black, due to the fact that it's never actually been fixed or, like, been at least, you know, held with, you know, I don't know how to explain this. But, anyway, he grabs the black hand, and automatically just, Endeavor feels this pressure around Deku. And Deku just grabs him by his hand and swings him all the way to the freaking, let's say like a couple of meters. And freaking Endeavor's like, "Whoa, hold on here, who the hell is this kid?" And All Might's like, "Whoa, this is a very strong young man here. May I ask your name?" And Deku just stares at him. Pretty much, Deku is like an animal who will attack you or will, like, kill you if you attack it or do something to make it scared. Now, Deku is just right there and walking. And he basically notices that there's a bunch of people around him. So, he grabs some of the animal hair that he killed from the one with the blades. And here's the thing. He has the freaking, he has, like, a pelt full of the animal's hair. And he plucks one out, and then it becomes a massive, like, it just becomes a sword. Or like a blade. Deku just wraps it around with tape or something to make sure it doesn't hurt him. And he basically is just defending himself. Now, everybody notices the fact that his arm is just dangling there. Pretty much, Deku, when Endeavor grabbed it, he said to freaking All Might and Aizawa and says, "Whoa, felt very weird. It felt like grabbing a bunch of rope mixed in with metal." And they're like, "What do you mean, Endeavor?" Aizawa says, "What do you mean, Endeavor?" And Endeavor says, it doesn't feel right." And basically, Deku is just right there. And basically is going for the offensive, trying to slash All Might, and All Might gets out of the way. And basically everybody sees how when he moved, his freaking arm is just like going with the motion that Deku's moving in. And they're like, "Oh sheesh, this kid's arm is like completely useless. Like it's he doesn't feel no pain with that right there." They're all just noticing that, and freaking Deku is just, like, looking at them with hate-filled eyes, just ready to attack them again. And basically Endeavor's like, sheesh, it doesn't matter anymore. Let's just fight the kid. Sheesh, hold on here. Found it. Now, he says, let's just get the kid and just take him out. And Aizawa's like, "No, Endeavor, we cannot do that. Look at him, he's still just a child. To put him in prison just because he's defending himself, it's kind of hard to say, but man, I wish we knew a way how to just do this without hurting the kid." And basically somebody with a sleep paralysis quirk, Midnight's quirk. Basically, she's right there, and she's using her quirk. Basically, Deku smells the air, and it's basically no big deal. And everybody has to cover their noses, but Deku is just right there. breathing it in and breathing it out. And freaking Midnight's like, wait a minute, that's not supposed to happen. My quirk is supposed to put you to sleep. And freaking Endeavor's like, well, there's no way this kid has a cancellation quirk. Or probably he does. But wait a minute, that's the thing, he's immune to it. And basically, Deku has a lot of resilience towards drugs, due to the fact that Deku had drugs. Basically, the people used drugs on him before, so he knows how it feels. And what I was trying to say was, Endeavor just told everybody that probably it's like this kid's quirk is something like a resistance quirk or something. Nobody knows what his quirk actually is. And this is when Deku just looks at freaking Midnight and just starts and puts in a stance. Basically, a stance where a beast will come to charge at you, making sure that nothing will happen. But this is when freaking... oh, sheesh. This is when freaking... sheesh. Okay, right here. Now, this is when freaking Deku automatically feels this rope around him. And basically, Aizawa's trying to pull him in, but Deku holds the freaking rope and basically throws it to freaking Midnight. Freaking Aizawa just notices that he's flying now and flying towards freaking Midnight, and basically Midnight tries to tries to hold, like grab him or like catch him, but basically they both fall. Now, the thing is, freaking Endeavor's now shooting fire at him, and freaking All Might's like, no, Endeavor, we cannot do this to a child. And he says, screw that. He knows what he's doing, and we know that we have to take him in, or else he's going to cause more of a ruckus. And basically, Deku sees his fire, and just growls at them, and basically jumps on the tree. Now, they're playing cat and mouse with each other right now. They're trying to get him, but at the same time, he's basically going right behind them or beside them because he owns this freaking, he owns the forest itself. Not by right or anything like that, or he doesn't, like, own it by, like, you know what I'm trying to mean, by legal reasons, but it's like, he is basically Tarzan, and they're all basically his prey. And, yeah, pretty much, Endeavor has been attacked. He basically got some cuts on his freaking face. And this is when, let's see, one of the heroes was incapacitated or, you know, already beaten down because freaking Deku just did what he had to do. And let's see. Freaking, Aizawa is trying to, is getting the most of Deku, but at the same time, Deku is predicting a lot of his moves, which makes it harder for, harder for Aizawa to do anything. So this is when freaking, what's his face, All Might tries to hit him, or tries to grab him, and he grabs his arm. But this time, Deku can't, like, move out of the way. So, he tries to grab him with the sword. He tries to grab him with the sword. Or hit him with the sword. But, freaking All Might grabs him. And this is when Deku drops the sword. All Might sees this, but this is when Deku grabs... hold on. This is when Deku grabs the freaking sword with his teeth and cuts freaking All Might's arm. He doesn't cut it off. It's just basically a cut. Now, All Might's like, oh, wow, this is very sharp. Where did he... is that his quirk? And Aizawa was like, no, and no. It seems to be that every time he keeps pulling that freaking, pulling a pluck of that animal hair that he has in his hide, basically it just gives another sword or another blade. So pretty much he has an offensive tool or something like that. I don't really know. And this is when All Might's like, alright, young man, we do not know if you can understand us, but if you can understand us, nod your head. And this is when freaking Deku just looks at his All Might looking at his face, and Deku looks at his blade and throws it as fast as he can at freaking All Might. And this is when freaking All Might grabs him, looking up in the air because it almost like cut him in the freaking eye. So he's like, oh, sheesh. Oh man, that almost got me. And this is when Deku is right there and punches him in the freaking stomach. This is when All Might feels the pain, and Deku grabs him. And basically, a couple of people, well, Aizawa, for one, basically knows that Deku was there, because a lot of the heroes are trying to find him. But this is when Aizawa shoots up a freaking flare gun and shows everybody that the freaking that Deku has been found. And now, so Deku is being grabbed by the freaking rope, or the freaking scarf that Aizawa has, and he can't get out of it. This is when freaking Endeavor runs to him and punches him in the gut. And this is when he's freaking All Might says, Aizawa, didn't I tell you not to do that? He is still a young man. And this is when Endeavor says, I don't care if he's a young man or not. This kid is still a feral child. But the word feral should mean something to you. Look at him. He's growling right now. Looks like an animal. And this is when Aizawa's like, look, I don't care what you two are saying. We just have to get the kid out now. Alright? And this is when Deku just summons his freaking bloodlust, which is pure black. I mean, like, midnight black. I mean, black as you know what? I mean black. Just that word. Black. Itself. Black. Anyway. So, Deku, hold on. Deku automatically just summons his his bloodlust, like I said, which, you know what, never mind. Now, anyway, he summons his bloodlust, and everybody is scared, because Deku is just looking at all of them with one eye being shown, because basically, when he got punched, basically he fell on the ground, and he kind of hurt his other eye. So right now it's kind of like bruised up. But he could still use it, so it's nothing to be worrying about. But here's the thing. Oh, no. I kind of messed up there. Here's the whole thing, that when freaking Deku fell, he basically broke his arm, but then he broke his, he hurt his eye, due to the fact that his eye kind of got, or it did get freaking, it got stabbed by a freaking, rock. So yeah, I kind of did mess up that, because I wanted to him look like Guts as much as possible. So yeah. Now, Deku just, it shows his eye only, and basically the black around him, like the aura or his basically face, all you can see is his eye. That is it. And basically he's just running, and basically he does a flip and kicks freaking Endeavor in the freaking chest, pushing him very back, and basically making Endeavor feel kind of makes Endeavor feel a lot of pain. Now, this is when Deku automatically grabs the freaking rope on his grabs part of the scarf with his teeth, and basically swings it around and around and around and around. Basically, and freaking Aizawa doesn't know how this kid is so strong. He is super strong, and yet it's like he was made for combat. He knows how to use every part of his body. So this is when he grabs him and hits freaking Endeavor. Now this is when Deku grabs Endeavor by jumping around and doing a couple of maneuvers and having the rope grab his neck, and basically he's pushing himself as hard as he can. But this is when freaking All Might says, sorry, young man, but I had to do this, and chops him in the freaking back of the neck. Now, Deku is incapacitated, and basically is being taken back to freaking UA High. Or basically, yeah, UA. Now, Deku, over the next 2 years, is going to be trained by the heroes. How? I'm glad you hypothetically asked. Well, here's the thing. Deku automatically was, he woke up. He woke up, and basically he saw freaking Aizawa, All Might, not Endeavor, because Endeavor's gone. Let's see, freaking Deku is just, like, looking around, and he sees Nezu, and Nezu says, well, this is quite a bit of a surprise. I didn't know that this was going to be a child that I was going to talk to. To be honest, I didn't think it was going to be a child at all. I thought at least it was going to be a midget. But, nonetheless, you're still a child. Now, does he have a name? And basically, freaking All Might, or, no. Aizawa says, he doesn't have a name, but a lot of the locals are referring to him as Guts. Oh, wow, that's a bit excessive. Why do people call him Guts? And this is when Aizawa says, well, pretty much, how do I say this? Pretty much he's been covered in animal guts a couple of times, and a lot of the locals are scared because Deku, or Guts as we may call him, yeah, just is covered with that, so I think the name stuck for a while. So yeah, his name is now Guts. And this is when Nezu says, well, it's not very gracious, but it is at least truthful. So, Guts, why are you, well, hold on here, can you talk at all? And this is when not Endeavor, this is when All Might says, no, he couldn't talk. For some reason, I guess he lost the ability to talk a long time ago. It looks like he's been in the forest for quite a while. For too long, I see. And this is when freaking, they already took a blood sample, and the test results came back. And they basically all find out that freaking Deku automatically, or his blood, has different, like, DNA strands of, like, how do I say it? There's been, like, DNAs floating around, both male and female, and drugs were inside of his bloodstream. Not only that, freaking, Deku was just... Pretty much Deku automatically, was told that there's a lot of drugs inside of his bloodstream. That's probably why he became feral, or probably the fact that he's been in the wilderness or the forest for so long that he's already lost his way, possibly. So, this is when basically they talk to Deku, and basically they start, like, helping him out. They start giving him some stuff to make sure that Deku is, like, alright and all. And pretty much Deku always, like, he got his arm repaired, but only the bones. Pretty much the skin and, like, all the muscle tissues, everything's already destroyed. It's been so long that his arm is no longer useful. But this is when Deku is being told how to talk. And basically, he learns a lot. His, like, brain capacity's very high, because he has to know how to learn. If he doesn't know how to learn, then basically he might die from not learning how to do anything in life. Or basically, when he had to fight all the animals, he had to know what was their quirks, how do they use them, what's the best way to destroy it, or them, and basically win. So, Deku automatically is, like, he's already strong. He can lift up to, like, 3 tons already. 3 tons is the maximum capacity for right now. And Deku is very versatile. He's agile. And he's a little more taller than a lot of people. Like, he's more taller than Bakugo. And I guess more taller than Ida. But, yeah. Pretty much Deku also has that pelt, and they told him how does he use it, and basically Deku just pulls he pinches out a piece of hair, like one hair strand, and basically he just starts feeling the blade, and he basically throws it up in the lets go of the freaking hair, and a blade pops out of it. So then he grabs it fast, and basically, yeah. So, This is when freaking when this way. Hold on. This is when they tell him like, how does he know how to use it? And Deku is just like, I just know how to swing a sword. Or I just know how to swing, how to kill. And they're kind of like, okay, so he basically had to learn how to kill from an early age. And Deku was like, yes, I learned how to do that. I was, and basically this is when they try to tell him like, what happened to you, young man? Why did you come, why are you in the forest? And basically Deku said I had to run from bad people. And they're all like, wait a minute, what do you mean bad people? I got out of a facility, or not facility, I got out of a place where they tortured me or they did bad things to me. And they're like, what kind of bad things? And this is when Deku looks down the ground and says, they did something to me. And there was women, and there was guys and girls there. And basically freaking this is when freaking Aizawa was like, oh, that's disgusting, that's despicable. And freaking All Might is right there. He's like very mad, like he has his own freaking bloodlust. Like, you may think freaking he will freaking do that to he won't kill freaking, like, you guys probably know that freaking All Might will kill what's his freaking name? All For One? Well, basically he will surely like murder like whoever did it, but he knows he can't do it. And this is when Deku was like, I know where they live. They live not so far, but they put things in me that were funny. And they're all like, what do you mean funny? And Deku's like, they grabbed like sharp things and they stabbed me with it. And for some reason, I felt woozy, or I felt sleepy, and I felt very, very sick. And this is when they're like, yeah, we basically have to go. And this is when they take Deku into the place where they were at. And yeah, pretty much there's a raid, like a lot of heroes are raiding the place. And this is when Deku gets out of the car and he sees a bunch of them. But here's the thing. A lot of the heroes are being pushed back by some of the quirks, because one person has like a water quirk that can shoot like very far away, and somebody else has like a freaking let's say a giant quirk. So basically they're going to have a like, it's not like Mount Ladies, but it's like he's let's say he's 12 feet tall. So yeah, pretty much that. And basically this is when Deku sees the people who did this to him. And this is when freaking he gets he like pushes himself back, or like he's like walking backwards. And this is when freaking an unknown visitor basically is looking at basically stops him. And it's none other than Guts. And here's the thing, I don't know how he talks nowadays or how he does his thing, but this is when he just looks at Guts, and Guts says, go and take your revenge. Do it. Just do it. And this is when he basically fades away, and Deku's heart feels very, 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 very different. He starts getting more mad and mad and mad. This is when he looks at the freaking villains who did this to him, and his eye is basically turning white again. His whole body is covered in his whole aura is basically like, how would I say this? Oh yeah, his whole aura is basically like shooting out of his body, and everybody sees bloodlust coming from Deku. And basically, Deku grabs a couple of pieces of hair, and automatically, it just turns into like a bigger sword. And Deku just grips the sword without while blood's coming out of his hand, and basically he just charges straight out at them. Nobody knows why he's doing this, but the heroes know why. They know they know that Deku has been tortured and all that stuff. And basically, the villains don't remember Deku at all. They're just like, who is this kid? And basically, the guy with the giant quirk is trying to stomp at him, but this is when Deku just slashing. He does like a hack and slash thing with the guy's leg, and it automatically it's already cut off like a tree. And this is when freaking one of the guys, let's say he has like a needle quirk, he's shooting needles at Deku, and Deku is basically running at them still, covering himself with the sword, and basically slashes his freaking sword, slashes his head off, or cuts it off. And this is when one of the women with the sound quirk screams, and this is when Deku just does like a freaking, he cuts her vertically, or freaking, like from north to south, basically like that. He does like a straight in the middle, and basically he's just killing a lot of the trying to kill as much as he can. But this is when basically, since Deku is now becoming a threat to their side, basically the heroes can now attack, or at least basically stop. And All Might saying, "Yo, no, young man, you cannot do this. Please, Guts. Please." Sheesh. And Deku is just basically right there, cutting off one of the people who basically did stuff with him. And then there's this guy right there. The guy is still the guy he just cut right now is still alive, but Deku just looks at him, and basically he does something. He basically grabs his stuff, and then he basically just stabs through it. And automatically Deku looks at the other guy, and this is when Deku stops freaking Deku is stopped by freaking All Might, and freaking Deku is trying to get out, break free, but freaking All Might is right there and holding him and just telling him, "Young man, it's all right. You've made your point with them. There's no need to keep doing this any longer. I don't know if you want to be a hero or not, but we cannot do this and not let you do this. As much as it pains me, young man, please understand that this is not the right thing to do. Now, just let go. All right?" And this is when basically Deku drops his sword and starts crying. He starts crying and crying, and basically freaking All Might stops him, and this is when the guy says, "Thank you, All Might. Thank you. I won't do this." And Deku, or not Deku, freaking All Might says, "No problem. Now, will you come with us quietly?" And basically the guy just grabs basically All Might lends him a hand, and basically freaking All Might grabs it, and the moment he pulled him up, he didn't let go of his hand. He didn't let go of his hand one bit. And basically freaking All Might just crushes his hand. And this is when the guy is crying, but Aizawa just gags him, and freaking All Might says, "As much as I want to let him kill you, As much as I want to see you suffer for what you did, a hero does not do that. But I would make an exception and break your arm. But the fact of the matter is, you are not worth it. So be glad that I stepped in. And basically he crushes his hand. So yeah, it's basically broken already, like shattered, whatever you want to call it. The guy is crying in pain, but freaking Aizawa ties him up. And yeah, so all of them were put in jail, or at least the ones that survived. There was newer members, but yeah. So that all happens. Now we're going to the fact where Deku is a much more better man. He's a much more solid man. He's much more kinder. He's much more lenient. He's not like, he's basically got over the fact that his past was ruthless. So, Deku was being taught by Nezu everything everything that happens, or basically how to be a hero, because they think that he has the potential to be a hero. He basically stopped a lot of villains, even though he killed them. But yeah, pretty much that happens. So Deku automatically is going to be trained, but they call him Guts. Why? Well, because Deku is okay with that. Deku likes the name. It may not be a very cool, flashy name, but yeah, pretty much it's a name nonetheless. They can't actually test his blood due to the fact that his blood is already corrupted, but it's healing over time. So yeah, they gave him antibiotics, and all that stuff to make sure that Deku is much more better. So yeah, and plus they gave him something for his arm, they gave his arm like a freaking, how do you call it? What is it called? Dang it, a prosthetic arm that moves around and has what's called harpoon guns or something to make sure that he can latch onto things. So basically, it's like he could shoot out something and he could swing around. And since Aizawa was the one who told them they should do that, basically Deku is thanking Aizawa for that. So now here's the thing. Hold on. Freaking what's your face? He meets Todoroki a couple of times, or he meets Todoroki a lot, which is going to be the person he likes in this one. And basically, freaking, what's her? Yeah, it's going to be female Todoroki. If you guys thought I was going to, if you guys thought I was going to say male Todoroki, I wouldn't actually mind it. It's not going to be an effect on the world besides Deku not ever having kids, but hold on. So, like I said, Deku is going to go out with female Todoroki, or yeah, pretty much female Todoroki. And let's see, freaking Deku also is going to have his own sword, which they're not going to allow him to kill, but he will use it if he has to. But basically the main thing is he cannot kill anybody. And if you guys think that's kind of weird, well, think about freaking Endeavor, how he can use fire and all that stuff. Bakugo can use his explosions. Basically, pretty much they can use their quirks, which can actually kill, but they gotta make sure that they don't actually kill them. They are basically wounded. So that's pretty much how I'm going to leave it off. I'm going to leave it off here, and if this gets over 100 likes, or yeah, over 100 thumbs up, basically I'll do part 2. And not only that, Shout out to Patrick Thornhill, like I said. And freaking, I think Last of Us 21 told me, I think, a little bit of the whole situation. So, yeah, shout out to him, too. So, pretty much like, comment, and do subscribe to the channel here, people. This has been the Fallout Whatever here. Bye.